Listen to me carefully, and I mean really listen, because what I'm about to tell you could be the turning point of your entire existence. You have treasure in your hands, real treasure, not some fairy tale treasure buried on some distant island, not some lottery ticket treasure that might never come. I'm talking about actual, real, God-given treasure that's right there in your possession right now. And most people will die never knowing they had it. You see, God has already equipped you with everything you need to completely transform your life. He didn't send you to earth empty-handed. He didn't create you to struggle. He gave you talents, abilities, and gifts that were specifically designed for you before you were even born. But here's the question that should shake you to your core. What are you doing with them? Right now, as you're listening to this, you're living paycheck to paycheck. You wake up every Monday morning, already stressed about Friday's bills. You're counting pennies at the grocery store. You're one emergency away from financial disaster. You're tired, bone tired, from the endless cycle of earning just enough to survive, but never enough to thrive. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, that's just life. That's just how it is for people like me. Stop right there. That's not life. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's existing, not living. God didn't create you to just exist. He didn't breathe life into you so you could spend your days making someone else's dreams come true while your dreams suffocate in silence. Let me tell you something that's going to hit you hard. You are exactly where you are because you haven't used what God gave you. I don't say that to hurt you. I say it to wake you up. Because until you accept responsibility for where you are, you can't take control of where you're going. You see, too many people die with their music still inside them. They die with their books unwritten, their businesses unstarted, their inventions uncreated, their art unpainted, their songs unsung. They die broke, frustrated, and full of regret. Not because they lack talent, but because they never had the courage to use what God gave them. Don't you dare be one of those people. I was in a cemetery last week, walking through the rows of headstones, and you know what hit me? All around me were the graves of people who had ideas they never acted on, talents they never developed, gifts they never unwrapped. The graveyard isn't just full of bodies. It's full of unused potential, unfulfilled dreams, and wasted talents. But you're not there yet. You're still here. You still have time. You still have an opportunity. But time is ticking, and opportunity doesn't wait forever. You have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean physically sick of your current situation. You have to reach that point where staying the same becomes more painful than the fear of stepping out. Because that's what it's going to take. You're going to have to step out on faith and use what God has given you. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah worked at a call center for 12 years, barely making ends meet. Every day, the same cubicle, the same angry customers, the same paycheck that never seemed to stretch far enough. But Sarah could bake. Oh man, could she bake. Her cakes were works of art. Her cookies could make you forget your problems. But she kept that talent locked away in her kitchen, sharing it only with family and friends. One day, Sarah's car broke down. She didn't have the money to fix it. She was at her lowest point, just like many of you are right now. And that's when she finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired. She started baking and selling her creations from home. Within 6 months, she had quit that call center job. Within 2 years, she opened her own bakery. Today, she employs 15 people and makes more in a month than she used to make in a year. What was the difference? She finally used what God gave her. Maybe you can write. Maybe you have a way with words that can move people to tears or laughter. Maybe you can sing and your voice can heal broken hearts. Maybe you can build things with your hands. Real things, beautiful things, useful things. Maybe you can solve problems that keep other people up at night. Maybe you can cook food that makes people feel like they're home. Maybe you can teach and help others understand what seems impossible. Maybe you can design, create, innovate, or inspire. Whatever it is, it's not an accident, it's not a coincidence, it's not just a hobby. It's your assignment from the creator of the universe. But here's what's tragic. Here's what breaks my heart. Most people know what their talent is, but they don't think it's valuable enough. They don't think it's important enough. They don't think it can make them money. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Every talent God gave you has economic value. Every gift He placed in you can generate income. Every ability He wired into your DNA can create wealth. But you have to believe it first, and then you have to act on it. Your talent is your ticket to financial freedom. It's your escape route from paycheck to paycheck living. It's your pathway to the abundant life God intended for you to live. The same God who gave birds wings to fly gave you talents to soar above your circumstances. But here's the catch, and listen carefully. The bird has to use its wings. The bird has to jump off the branch. The bird has to trust that what God gave it will actually work. Every day you don't use your talents is a day you're telling God, thanks, but no thanks. Every day you clock into that job that barely pays your bills while your gifts sit unused is another day you're choosing survival over significance. It's another day you're choosing poverty over prosperity. It's another day you're choosing fear over faith. And I know what you're thinking. You're making excuses right now. I can hear them in your mind. I don't have time. You have the same 24 hours as Oprah Winfrey, as Steve Jobs, as every successful person who ever lived. Time isn't your problem. Priorities are your problem. I don't have money to start. Your talent doesn't need capital. It needs courage. It needs commitment. It needs you to stop making excuses and start making progress. I'm too old. Moses was 80 when he led the Israelites out of Egypt. Colonel Sanders was 62 when he started KFC. Grandma Moses didn't start painting until she was 78. Age is just a number. Unused talent is a tragedy. I'm not good enough. Here's a newsflash. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He doesn't give you talents you can't develop. He doesn't give you gifts you can't use. If He gave it to you, you can master it. I don't know where to start. Start where you are, with what you have right now. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a willing heart. What if I fail? What if you don't try? What if you live your whole life wondering what if? What if you die with your song still inside you? Let me tell you something about failure. Failure is not your enemy. Mediocrity is your enemy. I'd rather fail pursuing my dreams than succeed at living someone else's nightmare. At least when you fail at using your talents, you're failing forward. You're learning. You're growing. You're getting closer to success. But when you don't even try, when you keep your talents buried, you're not failing. You're not even living. The world is waiting for what you have. Somewhere right now, there's someone who needs exactly what your talent can provide. There's a problem that only your gift can solve. There's a void that only your ability can fill. There's a solution that only your creativity can birth. But if you don't step up, if you don't step out, if you don't use what God has given you, that person remains stuck. That problem remains unsolved, that void remains empty, and you remain broke. Your financial freedom is directly connected to your willingness to serve others with your gifts. When you solve problems for people, they pay you. When you meet needs with your talents, wealth flows to you. When you add value to others' lives with your abilities, abundance comes back to you multiplied. But you have to start. You have to begin. You have to take that first step. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus worked in a factory for 15 years. Same routine, same paycheck, same struggle to make ends meet. But Marcus had this ability to fix anything electronic. Friends and neighbors would bring him their broken TVs, computers, phones, and somehow he always figured out how to fix them. For years he did this for free, just being helpful, just being nice. Meanwhile, he was struggling to pay his own bills. One day his neighbor said, "Marcus, you know you could charge for this, right? You're better than most repair shops in town." That comment changed everything. Marcus started charging for his repair services. Word spread. Within a year, he had more business than he could handle. He quit the factory job and opened his own electronics repair shop. Today, he has 3 locations and makes more money than he ever dreamed possible. The talent was always there. The opportunity was always there. What changed was his decision to use what God gave him. Your breakthrough is not coming from some external source. It's not coming from the government. It's not coming from your boss giving you a raise. It's not coming from the lottery. It's not coming from someone discovering you. Your breakthrough is coming from you finally using what God already gave you. But here's what you need to understand, and this is crucial. Using your talents requires sacrifice. It requires you to get uncomfortable. It requires you to stop making excuses and start making moves. You might have to wake up earlier. You might have to go to bed later. You might have to give up some of your entertainment time. You might have to invest money you don't think you have. You might have to have difficult conversations with people who don't believe in your dreams. But let me ask you this. What's the cost of not using your talents? The cost is living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life. The cost is watching others live the life you dream about. The cost is dying with regret. The cost is your children inheriting your financial struggles instead of your financial success. Is avoiding temporary discomfort worth a lifetime of financial bondage? Is staying in your comfort zone worth never experiencing the abundant life God planned for you? I don't think so. Listen, God has already invested in you. He's already given you everything you need. The question is, what are you going to do with his investment? Are you going to bury it like the servant in the parable who was afraid and hid his talent in the ground? Or are you going to multiply it like the wise servants who used what they were given to create abundance? Today is your day, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. Not next week. Next week you'll have the same excuses. Not when you have more time, more money, or more confidence. You'll never feel completely ready. You'll never have enough time. You'll never have enough money. You'll never feel confident enough. You have to start now while you're afraid. Start now while it's hard. Start now while you don't have all the answers. Right now. Today. This moment. Whatever talent God has placed in your hands, whatever gift he has deposited in your heart, whatever ability he has wired into your being, use it. Start small if you have to. Start scared if you have to. Start imperfectly if you have to. But start. Because at the end of your life, and that day will come, you don't want to be surrounded by the ghosts of unused talents, unfulfilled dreams, and unrealized potential. You don't want to stand before your Creator having wasted the very gifts he specifically gave you to change your life. You don't want to be the person who has everything they need, but was too afraid to use it. You don't want to be the person who lived in poverty while carrying the keys to wealth in their pocket. You were born for more than paycheck to paycheck living. You were created for abundance, not scarcity. You were designed for significance, not survival. You were equipped for excellence, not mediocrity. But it's all locked up in those talents God has already given you. The key is in your hands. The treasure is in your possession. The power to transform your life is already inside you. The question that will determine your destiny is, what are you going to do with what you have? Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of your decision to finally use what God has given you. Stop playing small. Stop settling for less. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop dying with your music still inside you. God gave you those talents for a reason. He gave them to you so you could break free from financial bondage. He gave them to you so you could live the abundant life. He gave them to you so you could be a blessing to others while blessing yourself. But he can't use what you won't use. He can't bless what you won't activate. He can't multiply what you won't invest. The choice is yours. You can continue living paycheck to paycheck, making excuses, and dying with your potential intact but unused. Or you can decide today, right now, as you're listening to this, that enough is enough. You can decide that you're going to trust God enough to use what he gave you. You can decide that you're going to step out on faith and activate your talents. You can decide that you're going to stop surviving and start thriving. Use what God has given you and watch him turn your talents into your financial freedom. Your breakthrough is not coming tomorrow. It's not coming next week. It's not coming when you feel ready. Your breakthrough is waiting for you to use what's already in your hands. The treasure is there. The talent is there. The opportunity is there. The only question is, will you use it? Will you finally use what God has given you?